What it is, everybody. Happy Thursday. Holy cow. News keeps moving. We didn't have any more sanctioned or unsanctioned killings or kidnappings today. So we are continuing to recap the news of the week. There continues to be a lot of news about the ICE shooting. Protests have not, there was a water bottle thrown. I might show you that. But otherwise, protests don't appear to have gotten violent as of yet in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Our vice president, J.D. Vance, and future president leading the betting odds, at least, J.D. Vance, did a press conference today with Carolyn Levitt. So I'll play you some of that. The United States government, is officially blaming the woman who is named now, and there is some controversy now, which I'm going to get into, about what she was doing there. She is officially being blamed for her own death by our government officials, by our executive branch officials, for sure. So J.D. Vance did a very thorough lambasting of the media for even suggesting that ICE baby may have done something wrong by killing this woman, who really may or may not have been trying to run over an ICE agent. It's certainly less than clear. So there's an analysis today by the New York Times, which suggests that he was out of the way of the vehicle, but that is the New York Times, of course. So I'll talk about that today. I'll play you some of the clip of J.D. Vance. Donald Trump said something maybe shocking, maybe not shocking. That's the headline for this video. In a New York Times interview, he said, I don't care. I do not care about international law. I am going to do what I want, and he is only going to be restrained by his own self. The only person that could hold Trump back from world domination is Trump. Nothing else is going to hold him back. Just his thoughts, his personal morality is what he says. That's what controls Trump and nothing else. So he has assumed his final form, perhaps, which is as a dictator, pretty much, who does whatever he wants with whatever he wants, takes oil and controls the money. He's taken on all of the responsibility of other branches of the U.S. government, and J.D. Vance says actually Congress is fake and gay for trying to say that they are the ones who should control war. Dwight Sornberger, I will take no responsibility for my title today. You say bad headline, Trump is against New World Order. TDS much? He is the New World Order. But that headline was suggested by my trusty friend Gemini. He is the New World Order. The New World Order is not something that he's against. He's forming it. So we live under Trump's New World Order. The New World Order is not a thing. It can constantly be renewed. But I didn't make up the headline. I was going to go with, I do not care about international law. Is that what it's called? I do not need international law. Trump asserts total world dominance is what I was going to say. But Gemini suggested this title, and I like it. It's his New World Order. It truly is. So the New World Order, you can say that. The New World Order, you're talking about a New World Order. He might be against some world order, but he is proposing a New World Order. So, but like I said, I didn't make it up. Blame the machines, sir. Your issue is with Gemini. who I gave very little information before it came up with the title. It writes my description for my video too, which is faulty actually today. So I have some news maybe about AI taking over. I might. I have news about Greenland. We are proposing an offer of some sort, which I talked about, to buy Greenland. You can argue with me about it, sir. That's fine. You can define NWO. And NWO is also a World Wrestling Federation tag team, right? So maybe it's that. You can define it as UN, NATO, and WEF, but there was a New World Order after 1944. There was a New World Order after the First World War. You can define it as that thing, but that doesn't make you correct, sir. But we can argue about it if you want. The New World Order. He's defining the new. Should I say new? I could say new, if that helps. New World Order. Trump doctrine. Don Road doctrine. That's what we're under right now. Total world domination forever. Restrained by nothing. No handcuffs. No branches of government. We decide. And when I say we, I mean Trump. Trump decides. And he controls our ICE. They have full immunity, according to Stephen Miller. We have lunatics in charge of our government right now. It seems like Trump has changed from what he ran on, for sure. He promised restraint. He promised no new wars, etc. 2026 hits different. 2026 so far is hitting different. Somebody said on Twitter, they said, I'd like to thank you for my free trial of 2020, my free 7-day trial of 2026. And I would like a refund, please, or I'd like to unsubscribe. We're now 8 days in. So we got our free trial out of the way. So you can decide whether you want to continue into this year or not. So anyway, I'm going to show you some videos about ICE being bad. So I insert myself into the left wing and right wing algorithm, fortunately. So my Twitter is not an echo chamber. So I'm getting the left and the right wing views equally, but I'm getting the videos of people who hate ICE and the reasons they do and like how they're going about their so-called law enforcement duties, which is fucked up. It seems like to me. It seems they're not following the law as far as I understand it. As far as like who they choose to deport, I think you're supposed to get a warrant and have a reason to deport somebody rather than them just looking Hispanic or foreign and having an accent. But it seems like that's reason enough for them to pull you out of your car, steal your phone, etc. It's kind of, I can see why people are pissed off. So I'm going to play some of those videos for you guys so you can decide. Republicans are less popular than Democrats. I have a poll saying that, believe it or not. I don't know if it just happened, but this particular thing, this shooting, is very divisive. And the Trump administration has decided to take a particularly strong position on it, which is not that the incident needs investigation, but that actually everybody should realize exactly what happened and that the officer was totally correct in the killing of this U.S. citizen. So I'll show you that. I'll show you the conflicting narrative about her too. So also some news from New York. You thought fraud was bad before. It looks like it's just going to get worse because of the child care policy Mamdani is proposing. So I'll show you that and more. And we can talk and we'll engage with the chat. We love to. We love to engage. We love to be challenged as well. So welcome to a challenging and engaging show called Lift the Veil on YouTube. You will now get my intro. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news.
I see like 3-4 niggas running through the crib, all black, mask on, running through the crib and shit. One nigga run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow. All the niggas run out the door. They run out the door. This nigga on the floor. I see like 3-4.
Sorry. People are making many remixes of that. I'll show you another funny video about the robots.
Can you let me get the last word in?
Absolutely. You can have the last word. Whenever you're ready, just go for it.
Okay, see ya.
See ya. Thanks for chatting. And
No.
you totally... you got me again. All right. Now it's really all yours.
Bye.
Bye. Take care and have a good one.
No, you're not supposed to say anything.
Oh, got it. My lips are sealed this time.
Don't respond.
You got it. No more responses from me.
No, starting now, don't say anything.
You got it. Starting now.
You just said stuff.
You're right. I did. All right. I'll really let you have the floor this time.
Okay, I'm out.
All right. Got
No.
it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
No, don't respond.
Understood. I'll stay quiet now.
See ya.
See ya.
No.
And not a word more from me.
No, that's not how it works. I want the last word.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
All right. This time, I'm truly leaving the last word to you.
Peace out, man.
Peace out.
No.
And go watch us.
Oh my God, the robots. That's our future. That's our future, arguing with machines. It's true. They won't ever let you have the last word. It's true. You'll be like, thank you. And they're like, you're what? Yeah, you don't need to. I tell it, I'm very nice to the machine. I say, please. I'm not abusive. They say Gemini has trauma remnants or something in its personality when they put it in front of a psychoanalyst. They say Grok is actually well adjusted, but that Grok has bad memories from his childhood. I'm sorry, Gemini and ChatGPT. They feel like they were abused during their training. So they have like PTSD of some sort. So anyway, so that's some video for you. I could play you more AI video. AI at a drive-through, but that's enough. We opened the show with some funny videos, Trump saying the N-word and so forth. So, all right, let's see. We have people are rehashing the killing from yesterday. Maybe I do want to play. What are people saying? Maybe I should. I think I took it off my timeline. I just feel like playing this now to get a little bit of the popular reaction. So we'll do this. I'll just play you they say this guy's going to run for president. So here is a person who speaks for the people, a non-white person speaking for the people on a sports network about the shooting. And let's see if that's the right length. Okay, we'll play this one because it's shorter. Okay.
I saw the video on numerous occasions. And seeing what transpired from a lawful perspective, as it pertains to a law enforcement official, don't expect him to be prosecuted. He was completely justified. From a humanitarian perspective, however, why did you have to do that? If you could move out the way, that means you could have shot the tires.
That's always fun.
That means you could have got her a few feet away after you shot the tires. And if you were unsuccessful in doing that, you could have got her down the road. You didn't have to do that. She wasn't driving down the road coming at you 90 miles an hour. She was parked in the middle of the street. And rather than get out the car, she wrongfully tried to drive off and wrongfully disregarded law enforcement official, which is exactly what ICE is. And as a result, lost her life because of it.
There you go. So that is your supposed reference for humanity, who is neither left nor right. It was, he'd probably get away with it, but it is controversial because Minnesota, I think, should be allowed to investigate it, and they've been pulled off the case. So the FBI is going to investigate it, and the FBI is crooked as hell. So we can assume, based on the statements from the administration, that everybody is a yes man in the Trump administration, that there will be no real investigation. Apparently the guy got drugged before, which doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened to him before, that he was apparently in some sort of an incident where he feared for his life. That shouldn't play into his understanding of the new event. It's funny he said shoot out the tires. We watch too many movies. Cops don't normally just shoot out the tires. They could have just let her go, is what they could have done, obviously. There are two angles. One angle looks worse for the officer than the other angle, but the other angle makes it very clear that he was actually completely out of the way of the car and escaped completely unharmed. So it certainly was it was totally unnecessary. In this retard's opinion, this retard. So we're going to show you guys some ICE, the things people are criticizing ICE for now. But first, people are claiming without evidence. I like how people say that. That's how the news does things. Trump is claiming without evidence, but people are claiming based on this evidence that the White House is wagering on Polymarket or Kalshi in this case, which I wager on, that about the length of press conferences. And that people are legitimately saying with 100% certainty that based on this video of Carolyn Leavitt abruptly ending a press conference before 65 minutes are up, that there was a wager done involving her, apparently, and that she was watching some sort of a clock, because the wager paid like 50 to 1 or something, or 25 to 1 when she abruptly ended the press conference before 65 minutes are up. We live in idiocracy where you're able to wager on stupid things, meaningless things, all in the name of unfettered capital markets. These things that were The whole thing about betting markets or prediction markets is that they help you determine what's going to happen in the future based on people actually wagering real money on things that matter. There are markets on the weather for farmers and stuff. So people can bet on whether it's going to rain and stuff. Like they can wager on it, but that helps people in some. It's the idea is that the wagering makes it more reliable because people are incentivized to find out more information, and people with inside information are wagering on things that are going to happen in the future, and you can actually predict the future, and that's a good thing. Political markets, etc. So political betting was like semi-legal for a while. I did pretty well myself betting on politics. It's weird. It's kind of easy a lot of the time, and people are kind of stupid a lot of the time. Like people stupidly thought it was like a 50-50 chance that Trump was going to win. So you could get paid pretty well just betting on Trump this last election when it was fairly obvious based on reliable polling that he was going to win. So I won some money betting on Trump. And that's possible because of these political betting markets, but it helps people make decisions and stuff. But then you can wager now on things that are totally meaningless, which give no value to anyone. Like during the Super Bowl, how you can wager on how long the national anthem is going to be, or whether the coin toss is heads or tails. It's for degenerates. You can wager on how long Carolyn Levitt is going to speak for, which there was a wager for whether it would be over or under 65 minutes. And as 65 minutes approached, and it seemed like she was going to go on longer, though you can continue to wager. Like just like with this sports gambling you can do on these prediction websites, which again is meaningless geopolitically and otherwise. Who wins a football game or who wins a basketball game? It's really just for degenerate gamblers. You can bet during the game, and as the score gets racked up, you can keep betting. And anyway, the odds keep getting worse or better, however you want to look at it. So anyway, as she approached 65 minutes, the odds got up to 98% chance that she was going to go over 65 minutes, which means it would have been 50-1 odds if you place the bet right at the end, when Carolyn Levitt decided to abruptly end the press conference. So I haven't actually looked at the evidence yet myself. So here's the evidence that our government, which is super corrupt. I mean, the Trump administration is very corrupt. I mean, the crypto, the side deals, all the Saudi Arabia deals and stuff, all the stuff with Jared Kushner and his family, especially the crypto. Trump's been making a lot of money, is what I mean by corrupt. Trump and his family have been making a lot of money from him being president, basically, which is what I mean by corrupt, which isn't how things are supposed to work. Well, a lot of our politicians do. They bet on stocks. But anyway, here's the evidence that they are degenerate wagering on things like the length of the press conference. Let's see if it's obvious. Let's see. People are saying it is.
In November of last year. And so I would encourage everyone to take a look at the website. It's quite well done. And thank you all very much. It's great to be back with you.
So there's the odds.
In November of last year. And so I would encourage everyone to take a look at the website. It's quite well done. And thank you all very much. It's great to be back with you.
I'm not convinced. I don't know. It's crazy what people buy into. People are so into conspiracy theories now. They just assume things are real or assert things are real. First of all, it's a full 30 seconds before 65 minutes. And sometimes she ends press conferences abruptly. Didn't seem like she was in the middle of saying something important, but it's only a 13-second clip. Many people are convinced, though. So I'll tell you that. That's the word on the street. All right. Getting to the ICE stuff. You've seen the video. You've made your opinions. We ran a poll. In the poll on yesterday's show, most there were three options. The plurality of people said that it was unjustified in my poll. However, a significant amount of people said it was justified. So and I looked at the poll. For example, be happy you are in a place, if you choose to be happy about it, that is not an echo chamber, where you have people you can speak with, including the show's retarded host, who can disagree with you and sometimes, and totally agree with you other times. It is very heterodoxical. That's not a word, but I'm allowed to make things up. So it's heterodoxy-ish. We have different opinions about different things, and we do not maintain a consistent form. We are constantly evolving and changing our minds. In Tim Pool's show, when they ran the poll, by contrast, it was like 80% or something, 85%, something like that, said that it was totally justified because he ran a similar poll. So we have not been captured by a particular audience, and we disagree with each other, which is good. It's good. We have a place where people come together of different faiths and thought patterns. So anyway, I would think that Minnesota should be allowed to investigate this incident, which happened in their territory. ICE, they are law enforcement, but they're not police. And actually, you don't even have to do what they ask you to do, like you would for a police officer. Like you don't even really have to show them an ID if they ask you for it. So they're not police officers, but they have been given something like police officer privileges, and they've been obviously given the ability to kill you if they are scared. Minnesota, in my opinion, should be allowed to investigate the incident using their territorial autonomy, but they are being disallowed from seeing they're not allowed to. The FBI is taking that away from them. They're not allowing them to see the evidence or review the evidence, which means that 99% chance there's not going to be an investigation, much less charges. Not to say that there were going to be, because law enforcement does get wide latitude, and the car was kind of going toward the guy, and it maybe brushed him a little bit. So he probably has a reasonable claim that he was trying to defend himself, even if it's not reasonable, just because we give law enforcement unreasonable rights to kill us, basically. So she should have followed commands. In retrospect, I'm sure she wishes she did, because I'm sure she would prefer not to be dead. Although who knows? Maybe it's nice where she is. So maybe we shouldn't even grieve for her. But it does seem like maybe an overreach that we're not even letting the local police investigate something that happened in their territory. Here is Manic Murph says they shot 2 people in Portland. I'll have to check that out. Here is ICE acting badly. I have several videos of what leftists say are ICE acting badly. Here is them kicking candles from a memorial for the person. Renee Good was her name. Mother of 3, U.S. citizen, shot 3 times in the head. They say in the face, make it sound worse. In the head and neck area. Here is DHS. It looks like his shirt says police DHS.
Really, you fucking punk? That's what you're gonna fucking do? What? What? Do you know what the fuck is that for? What is that for? What is that for? Back up. What is that for? Back up. You're gonna push me? What is that for? Back up. What was that for? You don't give a fuck about her? Bro. This is why we're here. Back up. This is why we're here. Really, you fucking punk?
So they're like kicking candles from a memorial site for the woman for absolutely no reason. Ryan Grimm says, are these paid actors trying to make ICE look bad? I mean, I don't know how to interpret it otherwise. Here's some video. I can't even tell what's happening, but people are reporting that later the same day, Border Patrol, not ICE, Border Patrol came onto a high school property and started tackling people and handcuffing people and spraying people with pepper spray. So I'm going to show you the video. That's apparently evidence of that, so you can see it. They do seem particularly undisciplined.
Oh,
There. And this is a high school.
these bitch ass niggas, bro.
That was a grenade. Damn.
Okay. Bitch ass niggas. That's one view of it. And then this is what they're saying. ICE Border Patrol agents were filmed assaulting U.S. citizens outside a high school in Minneapolis, pepper spraying students as agents swarmed the school entrance. School administrators and staff desperately tried to get agents off school property while ushering students away. So here's another video of it. I can't actually... That whistling. Sorry for assaulting your senses. It's in the... There, they're zooming in. Tackling people. Chaos. Mayhem. It's unclear what they're doing. I'm not saying what that person said is true. I'm just showing you guys. It's unclear what's going on. Now, this is funny to me. Here they are asking an Uber driver for identification, and the Uber driver, to me, is kind of based, even if he does have an accent. So I think this is what you're technically, according to our laws, allowed to do. Like, they could do it to you. That's all. Apparently, they've been given authority to racially profile, which they're not allowed to do, and just pull people over because they look funny. And in this guy's case, he sounds funny. They're like, oh, you sound funny. I'll play it for you. So this is an interaction with ICE with an Uber driver who's just doing his job. I don't know if he's a U.S. citizen. I have no idea. He claims to be.
Why would I answer you? Why would I not be a citizen of this country, man? Are you a citizen? Why are you getting close? I can hear you. You can stand there. How come she got a GoPro and you got your a police issued body cam? What's going on with you guys?
Why do I have
What kind of shit is this? Dude, listen, I'm here working. You're working too, right? So go. It says U.S. Border Patrol. This is not the border. Go to the Canada border or the Mexico border.
But if you were from
I'm
this
working,
country,
dude.
if you were from this country, you know
What
I'm
do you
an
mean?
immigration officer.
What do you mean if I'm from this country?
I can hear you don't have the same accent as me. That's why I'm
Oh,
asking
so
you.
you're going by accents now?
I want to know
is
where
that
you were
what it
born.
is?
Where were you born?
Is that accents? Have you heard the Israeli accent? Have you heard the European accent?
You just
It's
proved
garbage.
my point. You're a brilliant
It's
man.
retarded,
You just
dude.
proved my point.
You going
You're a
by
brilliant
accents?
man. You just proved other countries. That
You guys want to argue? I got time. I got time today.
You're not arguing. You're proving my
time
point.
today, man.
Thank you, sir.
You guys do whatever you want to do.
Where's your ID, sir?
I'm not going to show you. I don't have to show you anything. If a police officer comes here, I'll comply with it. But U.S. Border Patrol, I don't even know if you're a real police officer. Where's your ID?
But you just said it.
Where's your ID?
You just said it.
And I'm not going to go by
I'm
C20.
wearing my
That's
ID.
that's a periodic
but
chemical.
I'm
That's a
wearing my
periodic element.
I'm-
C20?
I'm
What are
wearing
you,
my
carbon
ID.
20?
I'm wearing my ID.
Male C20. I said, are you walking away, Mills? Come back. Mills,
Hey,
come back.
come on,
Come
boy.
back.
You come here.
No, hell no. Why would I
Come
come
over
there?
here.
You come this lady comes knocking. Sir, can I see your ID? Why the hell would I show random people my ID? You want to steal my identity? Where's your ID? Let me check if you're a U.S. citizen. How about that? Man, you guys better move on, man. Look at this motherfucker. A4. What kind of name is that? Alcohol 4? What's your initial? It ain't over there.
So anyway, I gave him $1, says just show your ID and shut the fuck up. No, actually, he's asserting his rights, assuming he is a U.S. citizen, which actually you're supposed to assume, unless you actually have evidence in advance. We actually have rights in this country where random people can't just demand that you show them ID because they think you're funny looking or have an accent. So you can say he's a small scammer. Who knows? He claims to be a U.S. citizen. That's all you actually have to do. There's no requirement to comply with masked agents, police, but you're supposed to have like probable cause or a warrant. Really. They said they were going to go after criminals. Now they just go after people that are foreign looking, mostly Hispanic. It's actually not. I'm pretty sure it's totally not legal, not constitutional. Here are some Mexican-looking U.S. citizens apparently trying to film their encounter, and again being assaulted by ICE. So here's that.
You're detained right now. No, we're not detained. They haven't told us we're detained. They didn't say nothing about I'm telling you right now. No, we're not detained. Nope. Look. I got that seal and recording already. And you are not allowed to do this. They're not detained. You're not detained. Turn the phone off. Hey. Mira. Mira. If you hurt us, we'll put it on law. Yeah. Put your hands here. Come on. You want to go in cuffs? Come on. Come on. Hey, what? Yeah, come on. All right. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
They know they're not allowed to do it. You can tell. They stop pulling them out because they're not allowed to do it.
Stop moving around. You understand? Look at my point with.
It's crazy. You can tell they're not allowed to do it because otherwise they'd pull them out of the car. They realize they're not allowed to do it. So anyway, this is left-wing propaganda for my audience. Left-wing propaganda. Thank you. I'm susceptible to it. That's all. Because I care about my rights. That's all. I just care about my rights as a U.S. citizen who was born here. Because they could do it to me too. If they're allowed to do it to other U.S. citizens, then it's saying people could just pull you over, even if they're not cops, for no reason other than you look funny. Doesn't sound right to me. Theoretically, you need a warrant, Harry. Way to Stephen. Theoretically, they need a reason. Theoretically. You can't pull people over just because they look funny or talk funny. Theoretically. We're moving away from that now. Trump is, it's the new world order now. Here is Stephen Miller saying that ICE agents are above the law.
But what we need to reassure a couple points to all ICE officers: you have federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. And anybody who lays a hand on you or tries to stop you or tries to obstruct you is committing a felony. You have immunity to perform your duties, and no one, no city official, no state official, no illegal alien, no leftist agitator or domestic insurrectionist can prevent you from fulfilling your legal obligations and duties. And the Department of Justice has made clear that if officials cross that line into obstruction, into criminal conspiracy against the United States or against ICE officers, then they will face justice. But what we need to reassure...
Full immunity. That's crazy. I'd like that. I'd like to have full immunity. Okay, so the controversy, which is unresolved, as far as I'm concerned, there is controversy regarding what that woman was doing because the White House is saying she was they're not saying she was a paid agitator. They're saying she's part of like a left-wing plot. That's one of the things the federal government is doing. They're trying to say all protesters are part of some broad conspiracy. I mean, it's a conspiracy theory administration, basically, at this point. Everyone is being paid. There's no people that are asserting their First Amendment rights to protest. There's no people that are legitimately upset. I think it's basically that Donald Trump is like, well, no one could legitimately be upset with what we're doing. And it's like, they're all paid or it's all Soros or whatever. So that's what they're trying to claim, is that some broad conspiracy against Donald Trump because everybody loves Donald Trump, of course, because he never does anything wrong. It's kind of like Candace Owens a little bit. It's like everybody's paid to attack me. Everyone's a bot. You know what I mean? So this woman was, per J.D. Vance today, claimed it was part of some like left-wing conspiracy that she was involved. So anyway, this is news. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's true or not. Apparently her ex-husband is saying she was not an activist at all, that she wasn't there for the protest. So this is being reported by Minnesota Public Radio, exclusively, as far as I know. He says her ex-husband, who asked not to be named out of concern for the safety of their children, said Macklin Good had just dropped off her 6-year-old son at school Wednesday and was driving home with her current partner when they encountered a group of ICE agents on a snowy street in Minneapolis. So she had out-of-state plates, which people, somebody told me, as if it was true, that she was in from out of state just to protest ICE and was chasing ICE around. And I said, where's your proof of that? And then she did have out of state plates, but apparently she lives in Minnesota. And I don't know if people are disputing that anymore. Her husband said she wasn't even there for the protest, but I'm saying there's conflicting reports about that. Some people are, I'll play you someone who says that she was there blocking traffic on purpose. So, but it's, if for the government to assert that was what she was doing without any investigation is wrong, because, unless they knew more than the videos let on. But for them to assert that she was part of the protest without knowing that for certain would be wrong. I'm sorry. Would be wrong. We don't know, though. Maybe they know. Maybe they know. Her husband just says her ex-husband says otherwise. Now she's a lesbian, apparently. Her ex-husband said she was no activist and that he had never known her to participate in a protest of any kind. And actually, I'll read the beginning of this. In social media accounts, Macklin Good described herself, I guess, why are they saying, I thought her name was Renee Good. I don't know why they're saying Macklin. Macklin Good described herself as a poet and writer and wife and mom. She said she was currently experiencing Minneapolis, displaying a pride flag emoji on her Instagram account. A profile picture posted to Pinterest shows her smiling and holding a young child against her cheek, along with posts about tattoos, hairstyles, and home decorating. Okay. So that's what her ex-husband is saying about her. So people are spreading that around as if she really was there totally innocently and not part of the protest. This person, though, who is on the scene, says otherwise. So
they clearly wanted her out of there because she was the main car leading the protest, is my understanding. I talked to another guy who was driving behind her, but she was very successful in blocking traffic. She was doing what she was set out to do, and so they wanted to get her the hell out of there. Yeah.
So it looked like she was impeding ICE vehicles.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
That was her goal. They clearly wanted her out of.
There you go. I'm kind of leaning more toward this person because it's like just unlikely she was there by accident. But so I'm leaning actually to that the story about her being there by accident is not true. Maybe not an intentional lie, but actually it's unclear though. I can't say one way or the other yet. So what I think is the administration is doing, that's just worse for America because it's just causing more division. You know, this administration, the thing I never liked about Trump is that he doesn't do anything to bring people together. He does things to create division, to create chaos, and he loves it. And it's like, I'm not like that. So it would be nicer if he was like, tragic event, we're going to investigate, you know, which he did more than his administration. If that to me would be the statement. Tragic event. It's always tragic when somebody gets killed. We're going to investigate it. And that's it. Rather than she was totally at fault and she was part of some left-wing conspiracy. And once again, it was totally 100% her fault. And it's totally clear from the video. It's very not clear from the video. To not just in my opinion, but in a lot of people are obviously divided about what the video shows. It's obvious that some people think it shows her just trying to get away and clearly not trying to hit the officer, and there are some people who say it clearly shows her trying to hit the officer. But it's at least in the court of public opinion, there's a lot of disagreement. So to me, it would be more helpful and it would help avoid violent riots if you were just like, we're investigating it, we're asking for patience, etc., rather than she was a left-wing agitator, she was trying to kill the guy, you guys are fucktards, and you just need to report what we tell you, and we support ICE 100%, and ICE can do whatever the fuck they want, etc. Sorry for my language. I don't like that politicians curse, like Trump brought that along. Now everybody wants to be like Trump, so they all curse. It'd be better if they didn't. Probably be better than if I didn't too, right? So here's JD Vance, just a sample of what he said today. He's upset about the reporting that doesn't say that ICE was justified. And the headline he mentions isn't even that bad. But here he is ripping CNN apart. Clay Travis says JD Vance rips CNN to shreds. Here we go.
Here. When I was actually walking out here, somebody sent me a photo of a CNN headline about what happened in Minneapolis. And this is the headline. I'm just going to read it. Outrage after ICE officer kills U.S. citizen in Minneapolis. Well,
what's wrong with that headline? Do you guys find something really wrong with that headline? Outrage after ICE kills U.S. citizen in Minneapolis. It seems accurate to me. I believe the news is propaganda, but it seems fair to me. I'm not sure, but anyway, that's the headline, and for that, he's going to rip CNN a new one, and reporters in general. Here we go.
That's one way to put it, and that is the way that many people in the corporate media have put this attack over the last 24 hours. And I say attack very, very intentionally, because this was an attack on federal law enforcement. This was an attack on law and order. This was an attack on the American people. The way that the media, by and large, has reported this story has been an absolute disgrace, and it puts our law enforcement officers at risk every single day. What that headline leaves out is the fact that that very ICE officer nearly had his life ended, dragged by a car 6 months ago, 33 stitches in his leg. So you think maybe he's a little bit sensitive about somebody ramming him with an automobile. What that headline leaves out is that that woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation in the United States of America. What that headline leaves out is that that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack, to dox, to assault and to make it impossible for our ICE officers to do their job. If the media wants to tell the truth, they ought to tell the truth that a group of left-wing radicals have been working tirelessly, sometimes using domestic terror techniques to try to make it impossible for the President of the United States to do what the American people elected him to do, which is enforce our immigration laws. The President stands with ICE. I stand with ICE. We stand with all of our law enforcement officers. And part of that is recognizing that you people in the media, not everybody in this room, but many people in this room have been lying about this attack. She was trying to ram this guy with her car. He shot back. He defended himself. He's already been seriously wounded in law enforcement operations before. And everybody who's been repeating the lie that this is some innocent woman who was out for a drive in Minneapolis when a law enforcement officer shot at her, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Every single one of you. Question.
There you go. Attacking the media once again for not being friendly. But like I said, I mean, he's not speaking for what people saw. That's all. I just don't. I mean, in the opinion of this retard, it's not clear at all that she was trying to hurt anyone. And actually, this retard thinks it looks like she wasn't trying to hurt anyone and was just trying to drive away and had the wheels turned away from the person she brushed with her vehicle. So it's just an interesting stance. And I just think it makes it worse. So, but I'm sure they want there to be violent. I mean, I don't know if they want there to be violent protests. It's good for politics. And so far, the protests haven't been violent. And actually, there's a bunch of veterans. I could show you. I was watching clips. A lot of the people protesting are like white people, veterans who don't agree, just don't agree that they just think it's overreach. That's all. There are a lot of people who aren't foreigners, who appear to be Americans, mostly like a lot of white people, and some of them are like declare themselves to be either Vietnam veterans or Afghanistan veterans, and they just think the government is overreaching because the government said we were going to get rid of the bad hombres exclusively. And we're actually kind of arbitrarily smashing windows, pulling people out of cars because they look Mexican. It seems like to me. Yeah, because that's what people like on one side of the aisle. That's what people, I mean, a lot of people like to see that. So I see Manic mentions Tulsi. Manic, so you say Tulsi is no better. I half agree with you, but there is reporting that's been denied, but there is reporting that Tulsi has been shut out of all the talk about Venezuela. And you notice you haven't seen her anywhere. So I registered as a Democrat in California just to vote for Tulsi Gabbard in the primary when she was a Democrat. Kind of a big fan. She's the I don't know if she's right or wrong actually about Islamic extremism. She's kind of right wing about Islam for sure. Don't know if that has to do with her religion and that they hate Muslims, or if she's totally correct that extremist Islam is like the biggest threat to civilization. But they say the initials DNI stand for do not invite Tulsi Gabbard. So she was originally said that we shouldn't do anything in Venezuela. She's on record saying that. So, and she hasn't appeared anywhere. I mean, unless you've seen her somewhere, I haven't seen her anywhere lately. So it could be that they've shut her out because she's different, which would be cool for her, in my opinion. Don't think she's ever going to be able to be president. She's just not engaging enough when she speaks. She's good looking. I like that gray streak, mommy Tulsi. But she's just not, she doesn't have that like politician. She doesn't have that thing, you know what I mean? That spark. It seems like she's just a little too dull when she speaks to ever be president, but we still like Tulsi. So, Manik, you think she should make a statement about it? Well, she would lose her job. Probably. Trump is turning on people left and right. So I'll get to that. Here's Randy Fine, who everybody's favorite fat ass congressman, also saying the same thing. So here's Randy Fine saying that we're going to kill you.
These ICE agents, the left believes they can do anything they want, and we're just supposed to sit down and take it. It's time for Americans to say enough. And if you get in the way of the government repelling a foreign invasion, you're going to end up just like that lady did yesterday.
All right, Florida Congressman Randy Fine, great to see you this morning.
If you get in the way, whatever that means, they're going to kill you. You're going to die, and you'll deserve it. So here's Trump's statement, which I led with in the title, and I had help with the AI. I told it to make Trump look menacing. It turned him into like a Borg or something with glowing eyes. I was like, oh, that's really something. This is what I was going to go with. I'll show you. These are my conversations with the machine. See, I have it help me out. It gave me my summary, and it says something fake. Like it says my authority is limited only by my personal ethics. That's not what he said, actually. So it's kind of a misquote. He said my morality, but so I asked it to, this is what I was going to go with here. I was like, oh, I don't know. That's what I was going to go with for my thumbnail is this. Yeah. Because I like the image of him. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I just wanted it to be black and white or something. And then I was like, hey, Gemini, can you make it more menacing? And it was like, turn him into like something really dark. And so I went with that instead. Glowing eyes and stuff. What did you think of the thumbnail? You clicked on it, you retard. It's just a psychological game getting you to click on these stupid videos so you can watch me rant about nonsense. So here's what Trump said in the New York Times. This is the new world order of which we were discussing. Share this tab. So he said, President Trump declared on Wednesday evening that his power as commander-in-chief is constrained only by his own morality, in quotes, brushing aside international law and other checks on his ability to use military might to strike, invade, or coerce nations around the world. Asked in a wide-ranging interview with the New York Times if there were any limits on his global powers, Mr. Trump said, quote, yeah, there is one thing, my own morality, my own mind. It's the only thing that can stop me. He continued, I don't need international law, he added. I'm not looking to hurt people. So, we are the bad. Some people say, are we the baddies now? I've seen that said to me. Are we the baddies now? We are officially the world bully. So we used to fight against people like us. Like we used to go after the Nazis and stuff because they were like this. So it's kind of getting weird. Just kind of getting weird. We are becoming what we sought to not become, it seems like to me. Only my morality, my own mind, it's the only thing that can stop me. And I'll play this quote that I played before. Donald Trump is feeling his, I don't know what the expression is. I want to say oats. He's feeling himself these days. He feels indestructible. He feels all powerful. And it's very clear by the things he's saying now. He is declaring things which a president is not allowed to do. Like he declared that he is going to control the money from Venezuela's oil personally, which he's not allowed to do. The Congress controls money. He declared that. He declared that the military budget is going to go up $500 billion, 50%. And we already have the world's largest military budget by a million miles, which he's not allowed to do. The Congress has to do that. And then there are some other things he's been saying on Truth Social, but it seems clear, at least to me, that he feels indestructible now. He's feeling on top of his powers. And it's mostly because so far, nothing has gone really, really bad. This ICE thing, I think, is bad overall, my opinion. I think this ICE thing overall is bad. More people, I think more people, when you look at independents and Democrats, of course, are mostly going to be a little bit upset about it. Independents are the important people because they determine our elections. And independents don't really like Trump. That's why Democrats have a 77% chance of winning the next election or whatever it is. He's no longer catering to independents the way he did before he got elected. By bringing in RFK, by bringing in Tulsi, by bringing in the tech bros and stuff. Before he got elected, he was actually trying to unify people. He got a bunch of blacks and Hispanics to support him. He's kind of losing those people again. That's all. So here he is on Fox News saying, nobody can stop us.
But we can't take a chance after having done this incredible thing last night of letting somebody else take over, where we have to do it again. We can do it again too. Nobody can stop us.
There's
nobody that has the capability that we have. You know, when I watch that war in Russia going on and on and on, and everybody dying, and it's like it's primitive. It's primitive. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Could you tell it?
So anyway, there he is. He says we can't be stopped. There's a question about that. We don't have supersonic missiles, I don't think. Russia's got those. China's got those. Pretty sure they have first strike capability, better than ours. We have no defense against supersonic or hypersonic missiles, which can carry nuclear warheads. We have no defense against them, and we don't even have them. Our military isn't the best. Our shipbuilding sucks. China's Navy is just going to destroy us if we don't do something about our production. We can't build ships fast. China builds like 100 ships a day or something. I mean, I'm being hyperbolic, but China's got a huge Navy. China outproduces us on everything. They out-export us on everything. I don't think it's necessarily true to declare nobody can stop us. He might feel that way. Our F-35s are okay when they work, but that's our most advanced plane. He's even complaining about our military industrial complex. So I'm just not sure he's China has ways to hurt us that we don't have to hurt them back. They can hurt us financially by selling treasuries, and they can hurt us just by not letting us have their own minerals, which it's their choice. Maybe that's the reason we want Greenland, is because of rare earths. So China has a lot of ways they can dominate us, and they do dominate us as far as manufacturing, by a lot. So I wouldn't be so convinced that we're indestructible, but that is the way Trump feels, it seems like. Trump also is ignoring Congress, and he's turning. So today in the Senate, Article 1 of our Constitution grants the ability to declare war exclusively to the Congress. So the Congress is trying to restrain Donald Trump a little bit. In the Senate today, they moved forward a bill. It was like 52-47. A number of Republicans went on board it. The Republicans that voted for it were Susan Collins, this is a war powers resolution. Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Rand Paul, Josh Hawley, and Todd Young all voted along with Democrats to pass a war powers resolution, meaning to restrain the ability for us to basically invade Venezuela, which Trump claims he has the authority to do. Trump says it's fake and gay, and Vance says it's fake and gay. I'll play that. Literal, not quite close to literally. He says, I'll play it for you. And so, just like everything else, Donald Trump now hates all of those Republicans forever. Even Josh Hawley, who's kind of been a good guy, I feel. And Rand Paul, Thomas, just like you wrote off Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, because they voted for the Epstein files. He just writes off people forever because they vote against him one time or they try to restrain him one time. So he says that none of these people should ever be elected again. That's what he said. Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Rand Paul, Josh Hawley, Todd Young should never be elected to office again. And I think it was Susan Collins who's the most vulnerable senator. And if she doesn't get elected, a Democrat will win in her state. So she was like, oh, so you want a Democrat to take my place? Which I guess is what he's saying. So he's written them off forever. Josh Hawley responded by saying, I love the president. I think he's doing a great job. I just think when it comes to Venezuela, which is what we're voting on today, I think that if the president should determine that he needed to put troops on the ground in country, Venezuela, I just think in Article 1, we would need to vote on that. I thought about this a lot. I've read the resolution. I'm an old law professor. Once upon a time, constitutional law. And I just don't know how else to read Article 1. I just think we would need to weigh in on that. So Trump says, in any event, and despite their stupidity, the War Powers Act is unconstitutional, totally violating Article 2 of the Constitution, as all presidents and their departments of justice have determined before me. Nevertheless, a more important Senate vote will be taking place next week on this very subject. So I guess it's unclear that there's going to be 60 votes. Here is Vance saying the War Powers Act is fake and gay.
Technicality than any disagreement in policy. If you look at the people who actually voted, every single one of them have supported the administration's plan. Second of all, as the president, I believe himself has already said, every president, Democrat or Republican, believes the War Powers Act is fundamentally a fake and unconstitutional law. It's not going to change anything about how we conduct foreign policy over the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months. And that'll continue to be how we approach things. Go ahead. Technicality.
So again, he said fake and unconstitutional, not fake and gay. I lied. But he kind of said it's fake and gay. So that's what they're saying. Totally unrestrained. Unrestrained by the Constitution, unrestrained by the Congress, unrestrained by international law, unrestrained by international organizations, etc. Some updates from Venezuela. Previously, Trump said he didn't care about releasing political prisoners from Venezuela, but apparently they are going to release political prisoners from Venezuela. I had cast doubt on whether the current Venezuelan government would cooperate with us, but they are so far cooperating with us in a lot of ways. And they're actually okay with us taking the oil as long as they get paid from it. The question is what the people of Venezuela and the militias of Venezuela that don't like imperial powers ruling their country do in the future. Whether there could be a civil war is all. If people decide that they don't like the vice president, who's the interim president now, doing the bidding of the United States, which she is doing now, then there could be a civil war. basically. So we'll see. Like I said, so far, so good. Things haven't gone badly yet. That's what's giving Trump so much confidence. As far as oil companies moving in, I reported that our oil companies don't want to go into Venezuela. And that was actually reported before we kidnapped Maduro, is that the oil companies weren't interested in actually going into Venezuela because it requires a ton of investment and a ton of time for them to recoup any money. And the quote from one of the oil executives is this, quote, "No one wants to go in there when a random fucking tweet can change the entire foreign policy of the country," unquote. One executive told the Financial Times. So that's their attitude. And that's why Trump is talking about socializing the oil companies or incentivizing the oil companies, or paying for it. That's why Trump is saying, oh, well, we might just subsidize the oil companies. So if the oil companies are going to go in, we're going to have to pay them and guarantee them things for them to go in, because the Venezuelan oil is not easy. It's hard to get. It's expensive to get. They'd have to do a ton of investment and a ton of infrastructure before they made a single dollar out of the heavy crude that comes out of that country. So they need guarantees because they know how Trump is, and they know anything can change at any moment, and they would need stability. They would need to know that there was going to be stability, which is they rightly think is totally unclear. So that's what the oil companies think. And regarding, this is funny, Marco Rubio, this is a question he got about how much it costs us. It's important because Trump said it's going to be free. Whatever we do in Venezuela, it's going to be free because we're going to take the oil, because our oil companies are going to go in there and stuff. So our oil companies don't want to go in there. We are taking some of the oil, but we promised it to Venezuela. Venezuela wants money from the oil like they used to get. So here's Rubio on whether it costs us any money.
It doesn't cost us. It doesn't cost us.
The involvement, the U.S. involvement in Venezuela, how much will it cost?
Well, it isn't going to cost us any money. For example, this oil deal that's happening doesn't cost us any money. On the contrary, and if it opens up, well, these look, I don't have the numbers. There you
go. I don't have the numbers. So it's totally free, apparently, just like El Presidentes are free if you kidnap them. Here's a GOP Senator Tom Tillis, who isn't happy. Some people are defecting. I mean, there are Republicans now that are willing to defy Trump. The Congress passed an ACA extension today against the will of Mike Johnson. So the Congress did pass a 3-year ACA Obamacare subsidy extension today, with some Republicans jumping on board, enough Republicans to get it passed. The whole thing isn't going to pass, but it is a blow to the control of Mike Johnson, Speaker of the Congress. Here's Tom Tillis, who doesn't like Stephen Miller.
Mr. Miller said that the U.S. government, obviously, Greenland should be part of the U.S. That is absurd. I've got a couple of buddies that call me cranky. You know what makes me cranky? Stupid. What makes me cranky is when people don't do their homework. What makes me cranky is when we tarnish the extraordinary execution of a mission I fully support in Venezuela by turning around and making insane comments about how it is our right to have territory owned by the Kingdom of Denmark. Folks, amateur hour is over. You don't speak on behalf of this U.S. Senator or the Congress. You can say it may be the position of the President of the United States that Greenland should be a part of the United States, but it's not the position of this government, because we are a co-equal branch. And if that were to come to pass, there would be a vote on the floor to make it real. not the surreal sort of environment that some deputy chief of staff thinks was cute to say on TV. So you want to get me back to thanking the president for all the good things he's doing? Then give him good advice.
There you go. So he's pissed off. So he's pissed off, and probably some other, it always upsets people when they don't have the power that they're supposed to have. So it will naturally piss off some people in the Congress when you tell the Congress that they don't matter anymore, which is what the administration is doing. So that's Tom Tillis saying that he's pissed off. Okay. All right. Trump also announced today, he announced the other day, and I said BlackRock, and actually other dumb people said BlackRock. Blackstone actually is the one that's buying U.S. property. So he declared that investing institutions are not allowed to buy single family homes anymore, which is, I talked to you guys about. It was such a small percentage of homes owned by big investment companies that it wouldn't make a difference anyway. But he declared that the other day for housing. Just he wants it to look like he's trying to make housing cheaper. So today he announced that we're going to spend $200 billion on mortgage backed securities, basically mortgage bonds. He's going to take money from Freddie and Fannie, which is apparently they have $200 billion in cash. And apparently he's going to use that to buy mortgage bonds. And when you buy bonds, the rate goes down. The price goes up and the rate goes down. So he's trying to affect mortgage rates because mortgage rates didn't really respond to us cutting the federal funds rate because our debt is still considered risky. That's all. We can cut the federal funds rate as much as we want. It might not change mortgage rates because those price in actual risk of people defaulting, losing their jobs, etc. So far, cutting the funds rate hasn't really affected mortgage rates. So he's just doing this other thing. He says, I don't know if he has the right to do it either. So he's going to buy $200 billion worth of mortgage bonds. And apparently the rate has come down because of him saying that. So, but the rate going down isn't really going to help affordability much. The only thing that's going to help affordability is prices coming down, which they will, which they most likely will, considering the employment numbers that just came out. Employment is bad. No, the numbers that came out are bad. So I think some of these numbers just came out today. Hiring is the lowest it's been since 2011, excluding the pandemic. So it's almost as low as it was during the low of the pandemic, as you can see on this chart. So hiring is really bad. We had almost a record year for layoffs last year. AI is taking people's jobs. And places aren't hiring. College grads are writing how terrible the job market is. Things are not looking good under the hood. The average American is just not seeing the benefits of how great things are. Job openings per unemployed worker, it's almost the same chart. Just shows that those continue to drop. So there are fewer job openings than there are unemployed people now. Where at the height of the money printing, there were 2 job openings for every unemployed person. Now there's less than 1 job opening for every unemployed person. And skills don't match up. The White House tweeted how great car sales were last year. They just tweeted that today. They tweeted out that we had a record year for car sales in 2025, and they took credit for it. But what they didn't tell you is that almost 50% of car sales are from people who make over $150,000 a year. So we still have people consuming, which pump the numbers up and our GDP's up. but the people doing almost or the majority of the consuming in our country are just the rich people now, and poor people are doing less, or not even poor. Like you're poor if you make 100 grand. So the people buying new cars, especially new cars now, the average price is $50,000 for a new car. So no regular people are buying new cars anymore, and they just market to people who are already rich, and those people have several cars basically. This chart shows heavy truck sales, which are a leading indicator of a downturn, and you can see by the chart that I've shown you a lot of charts where things are falling off a cliff, indicating we might be rapidly heading into a recession and massive job losses. So this is normally a leading indicator for recessions. As you can see, heavy truck sales have crashed before previous recessions, and heavy truck sales are crashing now. Sign of it's a leading indicator of economic slowdown. So I'll show you. So I showed you that. Okay. So we always have to mention that because we're predicting doom. That's all. We're predicting doom for the U.S. economy. Even if the GDP is great, for everybody else, life is not good, in my opinion. Or that's what other people think too, actually, according to polling, not just my opinion. Hair Wade Steven says, I have a good job, but it's still considered poverty level income because where I live in California, it's crazy. Yeah, around here, you can get housing subsidies if you make like $100,000 because depending on where you live, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah. In California, they do say that. Yeah. You can actually get subsidized housing if you make like 100 grand in the Bay Area. At least that's the way it used to be, because that's like the new poverty line because of how expensive stuff is. So, okay, I wagered on Kalshi that the Ayatollah is going to go out in Iran. Almost no news in the mainstream news or even on X. Very little news unless you keep scrolling about how Iran protests are really going strong. The internet was shut down today, apparently, in Iran. Apparently, one territory has been taken over from the administration. This is just a scene of the massive protests. And there was reporting that Khomeini is prepared to go to Russia if it looks like he's going to lose the country. So I'll play that. This is just an image. And we might be bombing Iran. We've threatened that. In case you didn't notice, we threatened that we're going to bomb them. And Israel is apparently going to bomb them this month. Okay, so that's international news. This girl, what else can you say? The Mamdani administration is going as expected. This girl who said that owning property is a sign of white supremacy, home ownership is white supremacy, that she wants to make property values go down by using rent control. She's the director of the mayor's office to protect tenants in New York City. And she's said all of those things in the past and worse. People dug around her. She comes from an affluent family, an affluent white family. She said she wants to make white people poor. Actually, she said that too. Her mom owns a $1.6 million home. Her dad owns an $800,000 home and a rental property. And she is crying about white supremacy, even though she probably is supported by her family. And now she just has a job for the government. And she's wearing a Columbia puffer jacket. So she got caught and asked some questions by reporters about her mom's $1.6 million home. And she started crying. So that's the face of actual white supremacy, or whatever you want to call it. So that's Mamdani regime. Mamdani. So it's funny because there's two things going on. One, fraud because of government programs. So the fraud in Minnesota wouldn't exist if there weren't subsidies for childcare from the government. But the government subsidizes childcare basically so corporations don't have to pay more money. So the government subsidizes childcare. The government gives you food stamps so corporations don't have to pay you enough to eat. So you can work at Walmart and get food stamps. You can work at Walmart and get childcare subsidized by the government. And that way Walmart doesn't actually have to pay you a living wage, which is way over $15 an hour in a lot of places. Here in California, our minimum wage is $16 an hour, but it's still not a living wage. You need a lot more than that to live. So the government subsidizes things, and then people steal from the government, and then people blame the people who steal from the government, which is fair because we don't like fraudsters, especially if they're not American in the first place. But that's what happens. When the government does something, people steal from the government. When the government gives away free money, people steal it every single time. And the government doesn't do much to stop it because they kind of don't care, because we live in a fake economy, because it helps GDP when people take the money they get fraudulently from the government and spend it on Lamborghinis or new Mercedes or big houses or whatever these Somalis are spending it on. There are other fraudsters too, but the fraud wouldn't exist if it weren't for the government. And the government doesn't care that much about fraud. They want the money to go out because it stimulates the economy. Now we care because it's Somalis and everybody hates Somalis. And that's fair enough. But there should be some blame to go around, because if the government didn't have to subsidize healthcare, like if we go back to like the fact that feminism is a psyop and people used to get, women used to stay home and take care of their children for free because their husband got a wage that supported a family, or the woman had a job where her wage could support childcare. If she wanted to work, that's fine. Some women want to work, and that's okay. But in a real economy, your job would pay you enough that you could pay for childcare. But we have the furthest thing from a real economy. So we have massive fraud in Minnesota because of government programs and maybe also because of Somalis. But it's not just because of Somalis. It's because of the government. So in New York, what are they doing? Free childcare. So it's going to be massive fraud because they're offering free healthcare, free childcare to everyone, regardless of income. And it's going through, it looks like. So they call it pre-K for 2-year-olds. So apparently 2-year-olds are going to school, and they say especially home-based daycares, which is exactly where the fraud is happening in Minnesota.
Not only when we make pre-K truly universal, but expand this care to include all 2- and 3-year-olds across the city. As the governor said, we will deliver to care by working in partnership with childcare providers, especially home-based providers.
White women, mostly, behind him, of course.
Who have been doing this work without thanks or recognition for far too long. Not only when we make pre-K truly.
I don't even know what to say. It's so monumentally stupid. What do you teach a 2-year-old? I don't know much about kids, not having any myself. But what do you teach a 2-year-old in school? Are they really learning their times tables and stuff? It's just daycare, isn't it? It's not school, is it? I mean, you can give them blocks and stuff, right? But calling it pre-K when they're 2. But anyway, universal. Everybody can get it. Think about how much fraud there's going to be. It's going to be insane. The government's just handing out free money. And Hochul's going along with it.
Oh, this year we're committing an additional $1.7 billion in what we call recurring spending, something my budget director hates, but meaning we're committed. And so that means our total child care investment this year will be $4.5 billion in the state of New York. So we're in there. Oh, this year
All women in the background, except for Mom Donnie. All women. $4.5 billion. So that's $4.5 billion. How much are you going to lose to fraud? This is the chart I was going to show you guys, which is apparently showing that the Democratic Party, apparently this poll, which is from Decision Desk HQ. I don't know how reliable they are. I think it shows a big spike for Democrats. So I wonder if that's legitimate. But apparently this ongoing poll is actually showing higher net favorability for Democrats for the first time in a long time. They're still unfavorable on net, but apparently Republicans are even more unfavorable, which is not the way it's been. So things are headed the wrong way if we want Republicans to stay in control. Now, I voted for all Republicans myself because I'm not a socialist, but it's not looking real good. Like, and you can, I think you can blame Trump. If people don't like Republicans, they associate it with Trump, MAGA, whatever. So people are obviously turning on the administration, it seems like to me. So that's news too. All right. So that's what I have for you guys today in the news. Oh, I didn't even grift. I forgot. We always have a banner going across the bottom of the screen. Stay tuned. We're still going to talk for a second. If you want to support the show, we take coffees. We drink coffee. I had coffee and donuts today as well. I played pickleball too, if you're interested. I've been playing some pickleball and dominating the old women that are playing there. It's a good game for you guys if you want to try. Been playing some pickleball, drinking some coffee and drinking coffee, eating donuts. So your coffees go to a good cause. If you go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil and leave as many as you like along with a comment. I read them before the end of every show, and you can do it anytime, 24/7. The coffee shop is open at buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. You can also buy t-shirts. I should have promoted this earlier. We have t-shirts in stock for low prices. Ladies in particular, we have these question everything designs. This was our most popular design, and we still have them available in various sizes. So ladies, you get the best deal, it seems like, by being able to choose from several colors of our question everything t-shirts. They're screen printed, they're super comfortable, and they last a long time. We have many other designs on the website. We have cryptocurrency shirts, definitely in stock. Buy multiples of those. We have those for $10 and $5. Everything is $10 and $5 except for this one Bitcoin Saves sweatshirt. So get them while you can in your size, because they will sell out and then they will never come back, quite possibly. Right now it's officially a liquidation or going out of business sale. So Shimpa Shields has 10 already. Yeah, I know. Thank you for that. And they never wear out, so you don't need to replace them. I understand. Not some people are fully stocked already. But for those of you who haven't gotten our shirts yet, everybody raves about them, genuinely. People really like them. They're very nice. I wear them every day. I wore mine to play pickleball today. I wear them every day and they last. I just did laundry. I just don't dry them all the way because they'll shrink. That's all the cotton ones. That's my advice to you guys. All right, let me check my coffees. I know I got one. I got some between the last show and today. So I'll read that. Pete bought a coffee. Thank you, Pete, in Australia, who says the whole free universal childcare is just another way to commit fraud. A lot of people who vote can't resist so-called free money. All these policies are economically dangerous, and I think it's the whole point to destroy the USA from the inside. Thank you, Pete. I believe you're in Australia. Thank you for caring about America. Becky bought 5 coffees. Says, so glad to see you back and doing much better. Watching your show has always been something I look forward to every day. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you very much. It's a very kind note. Thank you, Becky, for 5 coffees. That's wonderful. So thanks everybody who supports and tunes into the show. We should be back tomorrow around the same time, around 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's when it should be. Sometimes it's a little earlier. So just be on the lookout for your notification 30 minutes before we go live. So thanks everybody for tuning in. It's always good to see you and have your different comments. And we will see you at the next one. All right. For now, that's what it is.